sales out there, I want to into something that is a massive, massive mistake that many coaches are making. They don't even realize they're making it. It's part of the sales process that's actually not really talked about. And many of you know how to get clients, you know how to close deals, how to take them through the process, you know how to get them really great results, most likely. But there's this little piece that if you handle it wrong, can sour even your most superstar clients from wanting to be a long-term cheerleader for you. And now more than ever, given COVID and all the realities of what's going on in the world, like we need to do everything we can to actually build and nurture our business, because to not handle these mistakes correctly literally can hurt your long-term business. So here's what it is. The issue isn't on the front end of your sales process. The issue is that most of you don't know that there's a back end sales process that is so critical. And this happens when a client declines to renew with you. And most people have no idea how to handle that. They literally, like, there's either disappointment, there's sadness, and there could be all sorts of emotionality. But how you handle a client moving on will actually determine whether or not they continue to be a cheerleader for your brand. And as you know, having raving fans and raving cheerleaders, it helps you in the long run. And so here's a mistake people are making, is that you only are valuing your clients while they are a paying customer of yours. And you're not continuing to value them even after they're no longer a paying customer. Like, let's say they decide to go on to have another mentor or be in another program other than yours. You could either, and obviously if you feel that they should stay in yours, you should take a stand for them. But let's say they make that decision and they've made a powerful decision and they are moving on. Take the high road, okay? Celebrate them for getting exactly what they need. Tell them that you continue to support them and that you believe in them and that you see their vision for them and that you hope they have a phenomenal experience. The reason to do that is they want to feel loved even on the way out the door, not just on the way in. And when you don't do that, when you essentially create negative or neutral on the way out the door, all of a sudden they start wondering, like, did they only love me or support me or care for me because I was paying them money? Or were they legitimately, genuinely invested into my well-being? Like, for example, about a year ago, a client of mine who is an ADHD coach for women, she's an amazing, amazing young woman. And she came to me. We had an incredible 6 months. She did the work. She built her business really from very little to having a major success, doing a $25,000 launch, raising her prices, filling her one-on-one, and doing the work to march her prices up. Well, at the end of our 6 months, I thought we would renew, right? Like, I just thought it was a shoo-in to take her most likely to multiple six figures and beyond, right? She had probably gotten at that point to like 8K a month or something. And I really saw a huge bright future for what she was capable of. And she came to me and it was like one of the saddest conversations, right? She was just like, I'm scared to tell you this, but I've been approached by another mentor and that woman feels a little bit more aligned to where I'm at now in my life. And they had experienced a similar loss in lives. And she just said family loss. And she said, this feels right for me, but I'm so sad because you've been so amazing for me. And I just want you to know it's not you, it's just the alignment's there. And, I just cheered her on. I said, I'm so thrilled for you. I'm so happy that you're going to get exactly what you need in this moment. And here's how that played out. Fast forward about a year, out of the blue, I get a completely unsolicited, amazing testimonial from her. Like, literally, she just was like, hey, Alok, I wanted to let you know, I'm doing $10,000 a month consistently. My business is full. And it's all built on the foundation that you helped me put in place. And I just want to let you know how amazing of a mentor you are and you've met in life. I mean, unsolicited. I've got the goosebumps right now just feeling into this. And I read that and she said, feel free to continue to send any potential clients to me to ask me for a testimonial, and I will get on the call with them. I will advocate for you. I will help them know that investing into you is a phenomenal decision, that you show up relentlessly, that you help people be able to position premium high ticket sales and to grow their business. And she did it from a place where she was in debt, and now she's debt free and scaling. So she just said, I will continue to advocate for you and help you help any clients who are thinking about working with you get across the finish line, right? I just want you to feel that. Like, that was completely unsolicited. And I have a long-term advocate in her. I can literally, when you have clients like that, not just who will give you the written testimonial for your website, or maybe even give you a video testimonial for your website, but who will actually be advocates that your potential clients you can send them to, so they can actually speak to a client who's had real results, right? Because a lot of people won't want to take the time to help you in that way. And all of that, if I had handled her exit in scarcity, lack, judgment, telling her why she's making the wrong decision, I would have lost out on all the opportunities where she is willing to help me close future deals with other people who are nervous about making the same decision. So I want you to just really feel into how you handle your sales process, because it is I was on my continued belief in her, because that's actually what the business of. And we need to, that the reason that closing your relationship with a client is as important with how you open it will determine whether or not they will continue to be your biggest advocate, your biggest raving fans, your biggest cheerleaders, potentially want to come to your live events in the future and continue to be in your ecosystem. So if you get your feelings hurt and then you start treating them worthless, and you throw them to curb, you ignore them when they message you, you ignore them when they reach out to you, you basically, they're like dead to you. Well, because maybe you got your feelings hurt a little bit that they didn't re-sign with you. Well, you're actually hurting your ability to get business in the future. And please, I implore you to really take this on. The exit is as important as the entrance. That how you handle that is vital to whether or not they will help you grow your business in the future, right? By being those unbelievable advocates. So have the long game in mind, right? And I've experienced this myself, right? I've had it where I've felt that mentors have thrown me to the curb, and literally, because I was no longer paying them, I no longer mattered, right? And I was like, it gave me just the worst feeling back then, right? To know, wow, did I only matter because I was a paycheck, right? And it's does it not matter? I didn't need them to continue coaching me or mentoring me, but it's we have a human relationship. And once you start ignoring people because you're too busy, or maybe your business is getting too big, and you don't make the time for the people that helped you get to where you are, who believed in you, who were your biggest fans, it will sour them. And instead of going, making that buying decision is amazing, or having them continue to send you customers over the years who could best be served by you, instead you sour their belief in you, you sour their feelings about you. And sure, you think it doesn't make a difference, but honestly, you're missing out on future sales by not closing this particular part of the deal, which is the transition exit. It's a really critical element, and I deeply recommend you bring this in and handle it with care, handle it with love, and nurture it so that people feel that you care about them beyond when they're just a paycheck. Okay? So I hope that helps. Please internalize this into your business. It's a major part of the sales process that many people never talk about.